Hello, I'm McLachlan, Head of International Ministries at CMF. In this video series, I've asked people with a wide range of interests and experience to share their stories of working in medical mission internationally. In this episode, we'll be hearing from Liz. Liz is a GP who's recently been working with Medair in South Sudan. As part of the emergency response team, Liz was involved in setting up primary healthcare clinics and responding to disease outbreaks, often in groups of displaced people. I asked Liz to explain what the practicalities of her role had been.
Within the emergency response team, I was what's called the medical manager, which is the doctor on the team and the person responsible for the technical inputs and generally the clinical quality of the work. So it involved training up local staff and then making sure that they were aware of what guidelines to follow and how to treat patients, and that the treatments we were providing were effective and appropriate.
Having worked in an environment as challenging as South Sudan, Liz offered a fascinating insight into her preparation for the experience and the part that CMF and Medair had to play.
One of the reasons I chose to go with Medair is that they prepared me very well for working in that kind of context. They have a selection and training week which tells you a little about how to work in an area that might not be perceived as safe. And then through a briefing time, you're also given various other tools to equip you for knowing what to do in different situations. And then throughout my time there, I was very well supported through the team in the field with me, as well as through the systems that they encourage people to set up with people back home as well. Before I went, I did the CMF Developing Health course, which was extremely helpful in just orienting me to the world of tropical medicine and slightly more of a resource-limited context approach.
Liz is now working with Medair once again, this time as health advisor for South Sudan. I asked her what this new role would involve and what other opportunities Medair had to offer.
So what I'm going to be doing is being the health advisor for South Sudan, and that means that I provide the medical oversight of all of the different projects that Medair runs within South Sudan. But in Medair itself, there are lots of different opportunities for people with all sorts of different experience. So a typical contract will run between 1 and 2 years, and maybe anywhere that they're working. They work in several countries at the moment. And so it's the sort of thing that people can do after F2 or by taking an out-of-programme experience year. And after that 1 year, it's then quite straightforward to do shorter contracts potentially, or at specific times, like during the Ebola outbreak last year, then Medair looked for people, clinicians particularly, to work for a few months in that specific response.
The excitement Liz felt at returning to South Sudan was tempered by an understandable anxiety. I asked her how she'd found peace of mind in making the decision to go back.
So South Sudan is a remarkable country. It's a real privilege to be able to go there, but it certainly has its troubles despite being the newest country in the world. What reassured me was both knowing the contingencies that the organisation makes for all sorts of different situations, so that even if you're in a difficult area, there will be a plan for what to do if various circumstances. And I was also reminded about the fact that I'm not just stepping out in my own strength, and that actually it's in God's strength that I can face all of these challenges, and that is far more than my own resources.
If you've been inspired by Liz's story, or if you want to know more about international work in general, please visit the CMF website or email international@cmf.org.uk. Thanks for watching.